need KJ Morris that just moved here from Hawaii to take care of mother and grandmother. I have an individual that Louis Velma that works at Harry Potter, and I was just there last week. So you think these are people that we interact with every day of our lives. Our law enforcement has done a wonderful job. The Orlando Police Department, the Sheriff's Department, FDLE, the FBI did a wonderful job of getting the bodies removed from Pulse, and FDLE with the medical examiner did a great job of identifying the bodies. This is a wonderful community we live in. This is a wonderful state. We are the best melting pot in the world. We have 20 million people who live here. We'll have over 100 million people to come visit here because it's a wonderful place to both live and visit. We're going to continue to work hard to take care of these families and make sure we try to get this community back and the state back, work as quickly as we can. But right now it's time to grieve for each family member that either lost a loved one or still has somebody in the hospital injured. I'll turn it over to Orlando Chief John Mize.
Good morning. I wanted to provide some more information about our initial response and subsequent rescue of many, many people. So again, we had an extra duty, off-duty officer working for Pulse nightclub in full police uniform. At about 2 o'clock, he responded to shots fired. He did engage in a gun battle with the suspect somewhere near one of the entrances. Shortly after that, additional officers responded. Those additional officers made entry while the suspect was shooting, engaged in another gun battle with the suspect, forced him to stop shooting and retreat to the bathroom where we believe he had several hostages. At that time, we were able to save and rescue dozens and dozens of people who were injured and not injured and get them out of the club. Things kind of stabilized based on statements made by the suspect about explosives, about possible bomb vests. We kind of secured everything, called SWAT, and we did set up for an explosive breach on the bathroom wall where we knew there were approximately 15 people in the opposing bathroom to where the suspect was with his hostages. Based on statements made by the suspect, based on information we received from the suspect and from the hostages and people inside, we believed further loss of life was imminent. I made the decision to commence the rescue operation and do the explosive breach. The explosive breach did not penetrate the wall completely. We used our armored vehicle, the Bearcat armored vehicle, to punch a hole in that wall and defeat the wall. So there's a hole in the wall about 2 feet off the ground and about 2 or 3 feet wide. We were able to rescue dozens and dozens of people that came out of that hole. The suspect came out of that hole himself, armed with a handgun and a long gun, engaged in a gun battle with officers where he was ultimately killed. So at that time, at this time, I just want to say that the OPD officers, from the initial responding officers to the SWAT officers to all the other law enforcement, acted very heroically and courageous and saved many, many, many lives during this operation. And our one officer was struck in the Kevlar helmet right above his forehead. That Kevlar helmet did save his life. I talked to him and spoke with him at length last night. He is doing great. So at this time, I'll turn it over to Special Agent
Chief,
Danny Banks. Well, I'll answer some questions.
Could you clarify if any more victims were shot when it was a hostage situation?
I'll talk about that.
So good morning. I want to talk very briefly about what our primary mission for all of us today is, and that's the identification of the victims and the notification of the family. As you heard from Mayor Dyer, we have confirmed the identity of 48 of our 49 victims. The last identity confirmation is pending right now, so we anticipate having that name here shortly. A number of those, as you've heard from the mayor, we have notified their next of kin, and that is our 100% priority mission today. As you're aware, the City of Orlando is advertising the names of those victims as we make the notification to the family member, and I'll explain to you very briefly on how that's going. We have teams of FDLE agents, OPD officers, FBI agents that we're deploying as we're identifying these victims throughout the state and really throughout the nation to identify the family members to let them know that their loved one is deceased. Once we've confirmed that, that is at the time we'll post that to our website. So I ask that everybody just respect the privacy of the family and that we will advertise those names of those victims, but only at the time that we can confirm the next of kin is notified. Again, I want to state that is the primary mission of all of us right now, to notify the family members exactly that one of their loved one is dead, and then we will advertise those names publicly to the rest of the community. So I'll turn it over to now, I believe the FBI is ready to speak. Ron Hopper. U.S. Attorney Lee Bentley.
As Mayor Dyer said, yesterday was the most horrific day in the history of Orlando. Indeed, it was a day of the largest mass shooting in the history of the United States. Terrible tragedy. First of all, on behalf of the federal government, I'd like to thank our state and local partners, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, the Orlando Police Department, the Orange County Sheriff's Office. The men and women of these agencies have been working tirelessly over the last day and a half. On behalf of the federal government, I'd also like to thank the governor, Senator Nelson, and all the other elected officials who've been here today for their help, for their interest in what's going on here. We're working very closely at the United States Attorney's Office with our partners at the Maine Department of Justice and the National Security Division. We're also working, of course, with the FBI and with ATF. An amazing amount has been done in just over 24 hours. As has been explained, almost all of the victims have been identified. The notification process is ongoing. We've been collecting a great amount of electronic and physical evidence. There is an ongoing criminal investigation. It is still in the early stages. We do not know yet whether anyone else will be charged in connection with this crime. I do want to let you know that we have no reason to believe that anyone connected to this crime is placing the public in imminent danger at this time, but there is an investigation of other persons. We're working as diligently as we can on that. We have teams of prosecutors as well as teams of agents working around the clock, getting search warrants, getting court orders. If anyone else was involved in this crime, they will be prosecuted. And now I'm going to turn it over to the ATF Special Agent in Charge, Regina Lombardo. Thank you.
Good morning. First, I'd just like to extend, ATF's family would like to extend a heartfelt, warm appreciation for the extended visit here today. But on behalf of the ATF, we'd like to say we are here to give you their role in the investigation. We found on the scene there were 2 weapons on the scene. ATF brings that unique tracing capability to the table. We've been able to trace those weapons. The weapons have been traced to the last known purchaser, which is the shooter. One of the weapons was also, the third weapon was also found in his vehicle. We are still working on tracing that weapon as well. We would like to extend our heartfelt condolences to the victims' families, as well as the LBGT community. We are working the investigation with a team of ATF analysts, special agents. We are working together with the FBI and all our state and local partners here today. We have a team of people here that are able to provide what we can to this investigation. I'd like to now turn it over to the FBI, Special Agent in Charge.
Good morning, my name is Paul Weissipel. I'm the Special Agent in Charge of the FBI's field office here in Tampa, which includes the Orlando Resident Agency. I think yesterday you heard from Assistant Special Agent in Charge Ron Hopper, who did a commendable job as the on-scene commander for the FBI. I think one of the things that take away from this, these bad events such as this, as we learned at 9/11, brings the community together, including the law enforcement community. As you see everybody represented here,